Greetings and welcome to another episode of Talking Ifa with me, Babalawo Salako. So today I wanted to talk about the topic, why should you respect your parents? Why should we respect our parents as it applies to the traditional Yoruba religion of Ifa? So let's go over that and have a deep dive. So let's talk.
Greetings. I'm Babalawo Salako. I was initiated as a priest of Ifa and Obatala in Nigeria in 2006, and I've been practicing the Ifa Orisha religion for over 30 years now. My mission is simple: to help those who are new to the religion or lost in the religion. So if that's you, then buckle up and join me. This is Talking Ifa.
So, why should you respect your parents? Why should we respect our parents as it applies to Ifa? So let's look into this. I did gather some information. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to respond and kind of go over it a little deeper with you. So the first thing here says, respecting your parents is crucial in the Yoruba Ifa religion because they are considered the first teachers and are seen as a connection to the ancestors, who are believed to provide guidance, protection, and wisdom, that being the ancestors. Parents are the bridge between the past and the future, and their guidance shapes a child's character and their future destiny, just as the ancestors shape the family line. Upholding this respect honors the continuous spiritual lineage and ensures the well-being and good fortune of the family. Okay. Now this statement came according to Kwara State College of Education in Ilorin in Nigeria. Okay, so that's just a high-level overview of it. So it's saying that now we're talking about several things here we'll get into, including Ifa ethics or Iwa Puele, but we're also dealing with how that affects us spiritually. So not only are parents our first teachers, they connect us with the ancestors. And in most African cultural spiritual traditions, including Ifa, connecting with our ancestors is key. It's core to the whole religious practice, to our ancestors. So the primary key would be our parents. And think about it, even if you think about it in terms of DNA. So our DNA comes directly from our parents, our mother and father, their DNA comes from their mother and father, our grandparents, whose DNA comes from their parents, which is our great-grandparents, and then great-great-grandparents, etc. The line that makes us who we are in terms of our DNA is, our parents and grandparents and that whole ancestral lineage, right? Now let's delve into the part as parents as first teachers. Yoruba tradition holds that parents are the first and most important teachers of their children. The moral and cultural lessons they impart are foundational to a child's development and their ability to live a good life. Now this is true, period, right? It's not just of Yoruba and Ifa, all children and they have, their parents are your first teachers. That applies to everybody. So that goes without saying. I can't really add anything to that. Now the part about connection to ancestors. Here they say parents are seen as the link between their children and the ancestral realm, which is a source of wisdom and guidance. Honoring parents is an act of honoring the lineage that comes before them. Okay, so when we honor our parents, we're not just honoring our parents, we're honoring the lineage that comes before them. It's kind of like in this religion, respect is everything. So even if you think about when you respect your elders, or you're a luo, right? And so you come down and you may do ballet, you may bow to them, touch the ground, or prostrate yourself on the ground, or you show them a certain level of respect. But the respect you're showing them is not necessarily just showing them respect as a physical human being. You're showing their ashe respect. You're showing the orisha that are on their head that are connected to them respect. You're showing their ancestors respect so that you can get those blessings from the spiritual realm also. It's not just the physical. Okay. So let's go on to the next one. So what are some of the benefits of respecting our parents? So one thing here it says building identity and character. By respecting their parents, children learn the values that are crucial for their identity and sense of belonging. Their respect fosters a disciplined and well-behaved individual who represents the family well. Now, in many cultures and traditions, bringing shame on your family is a major offense, right? So you are judged, your family is judged by your behavior or your children. So for instance, even here, if you send your children to school or somewhere and they're acting up, and then when you come to pick them up or whatever, or even if you're there, people look at you as the parent, right? They say, okay, if this child is ill behaving and so-called bad acting, then you immediately say that's the parent's fault, right? The parent gets blamed for that. So, you know, you then on the other side, if you have a well-behaved child, as a parent, you get complimented. Oh, you did a great job of raising this child. You're so well-mannered and respectful, blah, 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 right? It also helps them build identity as a family member because we're dealing with communal culture, family as the core and the base of it, but it's communal. Most African cultures are communal. So you build that group sense. You're part of that group and you're proud to be, and they're proud of you, etc. Ensuring a positive future. The respect shown to parents is believed to have a direct impact on the child's future. Disrespect can lead to negative outcomes, while respect can help children avoid pitfalls and receive blessings. So in that statement, it's talking about the material world and the spiritual world, right? Showing respect. I remember once both of my children are actors, professional actors. So I remember when they got their first agents, they got signed by an agency. And I remember going to the initial orientation. And one of the main things they said when they were speaking to the parents was they demand respect for parents. They gave the story of, they said one time they were on an elevator and with a parent and their child that wanted to be in their agency, and the child was totally disrespecting their parent and talking back at them and yelling at them and all that. And they said right then they made a decision they were not going to let that, add that person to their roster, let them join their agency and represent them. They don't deal with any child that they see disrespecting their parent, especially in public, right? So you get judged for that, right? Children get judged for that. So what happens there? That had a direct impact on that child's future. Their opportunity to get with a major agency to help them get bigger roles, they lost it, right? From showing disrespect to their parents. And then when it says also receive blessings, blessings can come from other humans, but they also can come from the spirit world. Speaking of that, the next one, spiritual lineage. In Ifa, reincarnation is understood to occur within the family lineage, and the living and the dead are part of a continuous cycle. Respecting parents is respecting the continuum of this lineage, which strengthens the connection to both the past and the future. So now we're dealing with the spiritual part and the lineage part. And when they say reincarnation, for instance, two popular names, Yoruba names are Babatunde and Yeye Tunde. Babatunde loosely means father returns. Yeye Tunde loosely means mother returns, meaning when if that child is named Babatunde, is because they believe that child is the reincarnation of an ancestor. It could have been one of their grandparents or great grandparents or somebody else, but it's somebody returning, they believe. So that's that belief in reincarnation in the family line is what they're referring to here. And like I said earlier, respecting your parents is also respecting your ancestors, the lineage, right? They're in the spirit world. You have to act, as if you're being watched. Somebody's watching you. That song that they see you, like the old Santa Claus thing. They see you when you're sleeping. They see you when you're awake, right? So that's a very potent part of this culture, right? Atheists may not believe that, but we're not atheists. So respecting parents in the Yoruba Ifa religion is a foundational principle of the culture and spirituality, linking individuals to their lineage, community harmony, personal destiny, quote unquote, that word destiny again, and the spiritual world. This respect is central to the concept of omoluabi, right, a person of good character, and is an integral part of one's spiritual well-being. Let's go a little deeper when it's talking about the ancestors. Connection to ancestors. Parents and elders are the living link to one's ancestors, who are revered as protective spirits, sources of wisdom, and communicators with the divine. Honoring parents is an extension of honoring one's ancestral lineage, which is crucial for maintaining a strong spiritual foundation and receiving ancestral blessings, meaning your ancestors can bless you also, not just the Orisha. So that's one of the beautiful things in Yoruba culture. It's just like if you are starting a business, you want to get as much help and assistance as you can, right? You don't want to turn anybody down. If somebody over here wants to give you a grant and somebody else wants to help you over here, or they want to connect you with clients, or they want to let you, counsel you on what kind of resources and what markets you need to go into, etc. You want to accept all of the good counsel and help that you can find. In this religion, we have a lot on the spiritual realm that can help us. Of course, humans, your parents and family, your ancestors can help us. Your Egbe can help you. The Orisha can help you, right? And the primary Orisha that can help you is your Ori, right? So we can go to all of those sources, and there's a plethora of Orisha to go to for help, right? We don't have to just go to one entity. And another positive is source of wisdom and guidance. Parents and elders have accumulated valuable life experiences and insights, and their guidance is essential for navigating life's challenges. Ifa teaches that listening to the counsel of elders helps individuals stay on the right path and avoid hardships. See, that's another thing that they normally have in traditional uh, African cultures or council of elders, but you also in your own family line have council of elders, your parents, your aunts and uncles, your grandparents, etc. And that is provided primarily from your parents. Now, I'm not speaking about broken homes and people whose parents are abusive or, you know, they're abandoning them and alcoholic and all of that, even though they're also important and you still have to respect them. You don't, I'm going to get into the negative side of it in a little bit, but right now I'm talking about what are the positives that can come out of this. Okay. Now, let's speak about character development, or Iwa Puele, as one term. First of all, Iwa Puele, Iwa is character, Puele means gentle or good and gentle or good or gentle character. The first thing preached in Ifa is good character, Iwa Puele. Now, your experience may not be that, depending on who brought you in, if you know, were brought in to the culture and religion. But that's what should be first, is Iwa Puele, right? It should be taught to you if you're coming into this culture by whoever's bringing you in. Respect for parents is a primary indicator of a person's upbringing and moral conduct, which the community highly values. Disrespect is seen as a sign of poor character and can bring shame not just to the individual, but to the entire family, right? So good character can do so many good things, and ill or bad character can also do so many negative things and bring so many negative things onto you and those around you, primarily your family. Another benefit is community order and harmony. Respect for hierarchy and elders is a core element of Yoruba social structure, ensuring orderliness and harmony within the community. A society where children respect and obey their parents and elders is believed to be more productive and less chaotic. So think about that. Less chaotic. You know, your household is going to operate more smoothly, your community, your school, and education, if you have well-mannered, respectful members, children, you know, young adults, it doesn't matter. If you're in groups, if you have people that are respectful of each other, then everything is going to work and flow a lot easier, right? And a lot better than if you have a lot of chaos and disrespectful people in the group, and the whole one bad apple thing would apply in that case. So here is just a high level. I'm going to go a little deeper, a lot deeper actually, on consequences, but right here there's kind of a light generalization of spiritual consequences. Disobeying or disrespecting one's mother in particular is considered a grave offense that can attract negative spiritual intervention from the collective council of mothers, which are sometimes called Iyami, sometimes they're called Ajay, to teach the individual a lesson. Conversely, honoring parents is believed to align a person with positive forces and blessings for a long and prosperous life. Now I'm going to get a lot deeper into consequences in a few minutes, so I'm not going to say a lot about that one at the moment. I'll get into that in a little bit. I'm still on the positive part of respecting parents. We'll get into what happens and the consequences of disrespecting them in a little bit. Now I'm just going to read what this topic says. I don't agree with the naming, but this is what it says. Destiny and well-being. Now, I don't like the term destiny when it comes to this, but that's what they're using here, because English is not the best language. It's not a very descriptive language. And so there's a lot of things that don't translate well into English, or there's not a term or a real word for it. So you find what you think can be the closest, and destiny was what was found, and you'll see it all over research and books and online, that when it comes to your ori and that stuff, they always use the word destiny. But technically, if you look up the definition of the word destiny, it is an absolute, meaning destiny is something that is destined to happen, meaning there's no other option. It's going to happen. And that is not really what's in our ori. What's in our ori are potentialities, or the good things, or certain things that we chose before we came. And those are the most highest probability of things that can happen for us. If we just get in alignment with our ori and self, we'll flow to those things. But if we're out of alignment, we won't. So it's not, destiny is not the best word, but there's no other single word to describe what's in our ori. So they use destiny, but I think that's it kind of misleads people, especially new. But I won't delve into that too much now. Ifa divination and rituals are intended to help individuals align with their quote-unquote destiny or ori and the will of the Creator. It says the Creator, Olorun. That's another. I have to, go through that a little later. We don't believe in a creator or one creator. A lot of times, we say Obatala is a creator. Some people say Olodumare. When they say Olorun, they mean Olodumare. But that's another topic. So let me continue. Maintaining good relations and respect within the family, especially with parents, is a fundamental aspect of this alignment, ensuring overall well-being. Ire, they're calling Ire overall well-being. Ire is much more than just that, but that can be part of it. And a harmonious existence. So earlier I had mentioned the term Amaluabi. So here we ask the question, what are the characteristics of an Amaluabi? So let's look into that a little bit. An Amaluabi is a Yoruba philosophical concept for a person of exemplary moral character, virtue, and excellence in conduct. The term literally translates to a child born of good character, or another translation, one who behaves like someone who is well nurtured. The characteristics of an Omoluibi are rooted in the core principle of Iwapwele, gentle or good character. Okay, so this is, a term that you can say that you strive for as a person, or you want your children to exemplify these traits. A child born of good character, or one who behaves like someone who is well nurtured. So if you think about the sentence, one who behaves like someone who is well nurtured. Well, that's how our children are judged, and that's how we are judged, especially when we're younger. If we behave in a certain way, people credit the parent, meaning you're nurtured by your parents. So they say you're well nurtured. You're raised correctly. You're raised right? So that's kind of how you can look at a person that you would call Amaluabi. I look forward to you and ask for your continued support in moving forward with my Talking Ifa with me, Babalawo Salako podcast. I want everyone to be blessed. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe Sheo.